Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're excited to spend some time with you today to discuss SIG academics and our STEAM Plus curriculum. We're looking forward to sharing information about what makes SIG programs unique and answer any questions you may have. This presentation will be recorded and emailed after it is complete.
And hello again. I'm Barbara Swycord, President of the Summer Institute for the Gifted, or SIG.
And my name is Caroline Daniel, and I'm the Academic Director for SIG. Your participation today indicates that you are interested in your child's education and academic exploration, and so are we. Since 1984, SIG has focused on enabling and empowering gifted, talented, creative, and high-potential youth to celebrate and maximize their unique potentials.
You may be asking yourself, why should my child or my student attend SIG? So glad you asked. For 35 years, SIG has been providing students with an academic program that is both challenging and rigorous. SIG also provides a place where students can meet new friends and make lasting memories. We want every child to have a feeling of significance, that is, a knowledge of who they are and where their life is headed. We want each student to walk away from the SIG experience with a feeling of self-reassurance and confidence. We accomplish this goal by empowering students to pursue their passions and interests and showcase their talents as future problem solvers and innovators. Students can focus on their personal, social, and emotional growth while collaborating with like-minded peers.
So let's begin by learning more about SIG academics and the courses we will offer in 2020. SIG offers a variety of course offerings for ages 5 through 17. We have a total of 81 courses, of which 41 are new for the 2020 summer. As you can see, we have courses that reflect a variety of topics and disciplines, from balloon science to animated storytelling. In this slide, we have listed new course offerings we have for ages 5 to 12, including the new arts and recreational courses. At SIG, one of the unique features about course selection is that upon enrollment, students choose their preferred schedule for the summer. Students may choose up to 4 courses from those offered on their selected campus. Based on those course requirements, students may be asked to secure student resource pre-program and bring in personal laptops, mobile device, or other related supplies. All students ages 13 through 17 are required to bring a personal laptop to the program. Courses are highly interactive, intellectually engaging, and provide students with the freedom to learn in the manner that is natural for them.
On this slide, we've listed our new courses for ages 13 to 17, along with new multi-age group courses for ages 9 to 17. Do you know what makes our curriculum instruction unique? Well, one of the valued aspects about SIG academics is that we offer a STEAM Plus curriculum where students take a multidisciplinary approach to learning. Students engage in creative thinking to help them solve real and authentic problems within the STEAM fields of science, technology, engineering, arts, humanities, mathematics, and also in fitness areas. Regardless of the content of the course, students will interact and engage with topics across disciplines, analyze multiple perspectives, and learn how to think and act like professionals would in those fields. The curriculum at SIG is based on a model of both enrichment and acceleration. Our academic approach allows for flexibility, offers personalized learning, and nurtures the whole person.
Here's a typical academic schedule for both the Innovators and Investigators programs. There are 4 course periods in a day, each 90 minutes long. All students operate on similar academic schedules. Depending on campus location, courses begin between 8:45 a.m. and run through 4:15 p.m., with some variations. Students transition between campus buildings or classrooms for courses independently if they're aged 13 and older. Younger students are walked to and from their courses and lunch hour. All students are provided lunch, and Innovator students unwind after the academic day during rec hour.
So I want to discuss the structure of SIG academics as it relates to the instruction provided in the classrooms. Our STEAM Plus focus for each course is implemented with three objectives in mind. First, we place a strong emphasis on differentiated learning experiences aligned with the readiness and interests of each student. Course instructors ensure that differentiation takes place by pre-assessing students within the first few days of the course. A pre-assessment gathers data about the knowledge students bring with them, and then based on these results, instructors individualize the instruction through individual or group learning experiences, through varying the resources, or through adjusting the pacing for students. Additionally, students will identify a personal objective that they care about that will complement their studies throughout the course.
Secondly, instruction is presented through dynamic, varied learning opportunities. Students are given opportunities to debate, discuss, and engage in project and inquiry-based learning experiences. They are guided to make connections with real situations and future and current events, emerging as problem solvers and innovators. Within a 3-week period, students study course content from multiple perspectives and close the course with a final product based on their personal objective merged with new information they've learned. This culminating product allows them to apply their learning to real problems, suggesting solutions for local or global challenges.
And third, we mentioned earlier how important it is to us that students develop socially and emotionally during our program, as well as academically and intellectually. We believe that meeting young people's intellectual needs is critical to encouraging their social and emotional well-being. Through their intellectual engagement with like-minded peers in thought-provoking learning situations that interest them, students can begin to envision the application of their abilities in making a difference in their world. Also, supporting their social growth is the fact that students work with broader range in ages in the arts and recreational courses that further build lifelong relationships. Making long-term friendships is something alumni tell us is one of their favorite things about having attended a SIG program.
We're now going to open our webinar to an interactive experience with you where you can see and hear how our STEAM Plus focus manifests in the classroom. So imagine you're a SIG student with an objective of wanting to learn about rising sea levels around the globe. The first step that we encourage SIG students to take is to increase their knowledge about their selected topic from many points of reference. Using the topic of rising sea levels, can you think of questions within the disciplines you see named on the screen that may serve as a starting point for gathering more information about this topic? For example, if you wanted to focus on questions that were influenced by math, you might want to explore statistical trends and satellite measurements for rising sea levels in a specific region for the last 50 to 100 years. On the other hand, if you had an interest in how rising sea levels might impact economics, you might want to explore how residents in a flooded area are displaced and how their standard of living suffers as a result.
Take a minute to jot in the chat feature any additional explorations that could stem from this topic, as it might relate to engineering, the arts, sciences, technology, or any other discipline that you would be interested in exploring. And think of concerns that you care about. Type your questions or ideas in the chat feature at this time. So we'll give you a few minutes to do that.
So we hope you enjoyed this chance to think about how an issue could be explored, and you maybe not had, sufficient time to write down what you wanted to write down, but keep those thoughts in mind. Here are a few more ideas that you may or may not have thought about. Let's say you wanted to look at rising sea levels through a lens with technology. You may have thought of how technology advances can help forecast adverse impacts. Would we need to develop new instruments? If you wanted to take a look at engineering, we could look at what engineering solutions, specifically civil, would support climate change. Would we need to re-engineer our infrastructures? And if you were interested in the arts, maybe you would want to look at the historical aspects of tourism and their economic impact in these regions. So there are many ways to look at this. And so if you have any ideas, feel free to post. After studying a topic, we want our students to investigate current solutions and brainstorm better ideas they might think of in solving the problems they have discovered. Through their research, they may find that communities are currently building raised roads, building seawalls, raising carbon taxes to reduce carbon emissions, or even planting trees to absorb carbon emissions. At SIG, we want our students to go beyond reporting existing knowledge and imagine what they might be able to contribute to an area of study. Using our problem on rising sea levels, can you brainstorm some ideas that could grow into possible solutions? Based on your initial questions or thoughts, what are some novel solutions you could begin to explore to reduce the impact of rising sea levels? Take a few moments to post your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll share ours.
Okay, I could feel the thinking coming through the computer. I'm sure you're really thinking hard about this, although everyone is too shy, I think, to write their ideas on the screen. But perhaps you found this to be a challenging task because it is. There are a few things that I'd like to share about this process. First of all, students will present ideas based on their personal knowledge and their personal experiences, as well as from their imagination. It's our role as adults and teachers to facilitate an inquiry process whereby students can think through their ideas, gain additional knowledge they need, and end up with ideas that are novel and useful, which is our ultimate goal. For example, young children would probably suggest sending all this excess water into space or to another planet like Mars where it's needed. But through asking questions of them, we can get the student to understand the challenges of such a solution and possibly end up with a more viable idea that might include alternatives for water removal or pumping and delivery of water in more usable ways. Or let's say students might suggest dehydration based on their home experiences with dehydrating fruit, for example. Perhaps after we ask those facilitating questions regarding this idea, they might envision a creative idea around water evaporation or dehydration and desalination through a kind of engineered shelving mechanism that rotates that would handle the accumulated water and then mine the salt for other uses from the water. So these are just a couple of ideas that I could just envision coming from young children. But the main idea here is that all ideas are valued and given the opportunity to evolve into useful as well as novel solutions, which remember is our ultimate goal. And we hope that this little exercise helped you to understand our STEAM Plus approach. The sample activity is an example of what students might engage in with their personal objective as well as with the content objectives.
We also want to highlight other features of instruction using a course we ran this past summer called Ocean Crisis, Let's Clean Up Our Act. It was popular in 2019 and will return as one of the courses in 2020 for ages 9 through 10. So not only does SIG help students connect their interests to current experiences and stretch their creativity with novel solutions, students engage in a minds-on approach to the content. For the course Ocean Crisis, students recorded and tracked their trash consumption over the course of the 3 weeks to internalize the quantity of trash that one person produces over time, along with many experiments that help them understand the environmental impacts of marine pollution. We also encourage students to think from professional perspectives. In the course Ocean Crisis, students participate in a critical analysis of the laws and policies that help or hinder ocean pollution to determine the areas that need further manipulation in the future. We want students to think like marine biologists, lawyers, environmentalists, consumers, and other professionals in the field, and brainstorm solutions to current community, national, and global concerns.
Then at the end of the program, students receive a Student Performance Review, or SPR, for each completed course. This SPR is provided by the course instructor and is made available in the student's MySig portal 3 to 4 weeks after the program ends. Instructors provide qualitative evaluations using short narratives that highlight the learning experiences and accomplishments completed during the course. And they often offer opportunities for future study. The SPRs provide an individualized communication regarding the learning and growth that took place in the course. And upon request, SPRs can be sent out to schools. As we close, we want to provide an opportunity for you to ask questions. We'll begin by addressing any questions that are posted in the chat feature and address as many as we can during the time that we have together. If you have additional questions after we sign off, please feel free to contact us directly, and we'll be happy to help you. We have a question: how can students apply these ideas in their daily routines? Well, certainly our goal at SIG is to provide students with processes that they can use every day on a daily basis and also well into their future. One of the things that we hope will come out of their experience with SIG is the feeling of a career opportunity. So if they had never experienced, in this case, marine biology or pollution or policies, this may spur them to thinking about, well, what could I contribute in these areas? But also on a more practical level, they can learn to problem solve things that happen in their everyday life, like how can I get more bang out of my allowance money, or how can I recycle some of the old clothes that I have, or things like that they just face every day. So they're learning to look at the challenge, identify it, research all the possibilities about it, use criteria to help them decide which is the best idea that I have, what are the obstacles that I need to overcome to get to the best idea to be implemented, and then move on from there. So it's really a continuous cyclical process that we hope students will enjoy engaging in. So we'll wait a couple of more minutes to see if there are any further questions, and then we'll be signing off.
So we have another question. It's a really great question. How are instructors and course materials modified to age level? So within each band of the age, so between 7 and 8, 9 and 10, 11 and 12, it's really based on interest that things are modified, and also through the pre-assessment. So at the beginning of a course, if they construct the pre-assessment and they share the results, they look at that, the instructors look at that, and then based also on the course interest and where they want to guide their final product in, all these pieces help guide a customized learning experience for the student. So it's multiple variables that really come. It's not really by age, because it's not, age is not really the factor that may limit or help extend. It's really what they come knowing prior to the course and where they want to go with their interests that really cater the instruction within that course and group of students.
We also choose materials and kits and books that are appropriate to the age level of the student as well as to the content of the course.
So I think we had some really great questions that came out. If you are still thinking about yours or may think of it later after this webinar is over, feel free to contact us. That is all the time we have today. For any questions that you may still have pertaining to your specific needs, please feel free to reach out to us by phone or email. You can also find more information on our website at giftedstudy.org. And don't forget to connect with us on social media. We hope this webinar provided you with a helpful overview of SIG Academics and our STEAM Plus curriculum. We would like to thank you for all your wonderful questions, your thoughts, and for taking the time to join us today. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.